Okay, so let's take a look at Azure boards in Azure DevOps. So for those who haven't started with Azure DevOps, you can go to azure.microsoft.com, then you can find the DevOps option, or alternatively you can even Google search, which should point you to this page. Right here you can click on start free, and which would require your Outlook account, and you can connect it, right? Also you can use GitHub account for authentication, and once you do that you will be presented with a screen to create a new project. So we give it a name, description, we set the visibility to private. Okay, you can also use version control as team foundation version control or basic version control. Then here you can choose between agile, scrum, CMMI, and then hit create. That would create your project. Okay, so I already created one project, so we will directly go there. Now earlier I explained how the interface is and how each option would be. So out of that I will be covering the boards part, right? So every project start through planning, design, execution, iteration, update, and goes in the loop like that, right? So when you are going through your agile or scrum or any other workflow that you follow, you will be making use of boards is where all your members would be discussing things, updating for variety of work items. So what we will do, we'll click on boards, and it will by default open in work items, right? So let's create one work item so that you can understand. So use this plus sign, use one of the things to do. So let's say I want to do task. Okay, so what is that task, right? So I will enter the title here. So let's see, I will ask my team to rebuild the DevNami homepage, right? Here create the DevNami homepage with theme and update for new changes in 2024, and make sure to comply with changes in 2025, 2026, etc. Right? Okay, you can add your members for discussion on this. So our new task is rebuilding, right? So this is one of the work item. So let's back to work items where we can see all the items here. Now here you will also find option for adding the issue. So this was the task, and there is also epic and issue. So let's see, there is issue of low traffic on content. So find out the reason behind low traffic and find new places to promote the content, right? Once you do that, you can click on save. Now we can go back to work items, and here you see we have second ID for this particular issue. So we have one task, one issue, and let's take a look at, you can see completed work items will be hidden, and alternative to that particular would be using recycle bin. So if I add work item, see task, and if I choose task something like add content up to 2 years, right? And once this task is saved, and let's see if we go back here, and now that this particular task is done, I want to move it to recycle bin, right? Then here you would be checking out recycle bin where you have to run the query. You can also click recycle bin for queries, right? So we'll go there, right? Now we looked at work items, we learn how to add, we learned how to move them to recycle bin or so, right? We also learned what's inside our work items like discussions, then things like deployment, then priority you can set 1 to 4, right? There is activity, you can, let's say it is related to design, you can save accordingly, right? And so on. Now this was specific for work items. What if I want to create a board? So I will click on board, right? So here we will be taking a look at Azure boards, where you can see it is like Trello like interface where you can add the items. So issues will be added here and to do items will be there as well, right? We also set the priority, then to do, doing and done are here, so we can simply see who is it assigned to, and we can also move to done or backlog, etc. Right now the thing is we can also take a look at analytics tab for this, so it will give us some idea where you can see the flow diagram that happens. Currently work in progress isn't much there, so we don't have much to see. So here our boards are like this, right? You can sort them between issues, epics, right? So issues, epics, and it will be visible here, right? So this is specific for boards. So we covered work items, then boards, right? There are small details here like settings, filtering, right? So you can go through that and explore a bit. Now let's take a look at backlog. So let's see some of the issues, work items are not completed. So it's our task to find such backlog, give it some order and view them. So you can view it as a board as well, right? So within board it will look something like this, and if you want to view it as some tabular format, you can check that in backlogs, right? Now for those who are handling variety of tasks like your issues and you want to have discussion, those discussion will follow along with your work items or boards or even in backlogs. As you can notice that if I start discussion here and other members jump in, I can carry forward it across all these 3 sections, right? Now you can also add new work item through your backlog. You can add the issue, then add to top or add as selection and add to bottom. So that's something you can do. You can also right click and delete this if you don't want, right? And alternatively you can choose between templates and do a variety of operations like adding link, choose iteration, choose parent, change type, email, and so on. You can assign the members as well for that particular backlog, right? Let's take a look at sprints. So for those teams who are following the sprint, can take a look at the sprint section where you can add the tasks, check the backlogs, then check the capacity, and also analyze all the activity under that. Currently we don't have any content on that, that's why most of the things are empty. Now there is also query which we earlier explored. So for even recycle there are options for queries. So if you want to make a new query in this particular section, click on new query. Here you can see things you can do with your query, and you will also use operator and values respective to going through your work items, right? Finally there is delivery plans within your board section too. So we haven't created any delivery plan, so let's create something new. Let's name this as brand building right? So plans to build the brand, right? Now we can choose between epics issues. We can also add these two project, its respective teams and members, and also the section. So let's pick something like issues. Choose the field criteria to limit the items you are supposed to work and to be done by the users following the delivery plan. Click create and it will show up right here, right? So here you can take a look at all of that, right? So this is in short was overview of boards in Azure DevOps.